Beautiful souls, welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zielinski and I work in the spirit dimensions. I'm talking today about our spiritual senses. And as always, take what resonates and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. We all have incredible gifts within us, and learning to tap into those gifts and nurture them and work with them does take a little bit of work and effort, but I'll tell you, it is so worth it. We all have extra senses. We all have spidey awareness, if you will. Starts with our intuition and tapping into who we are as light beings, being able to put down fear, embracing trust, and learning how to tap into that. Now, I do teach workshops, introduction to spirituality, all the way up to master classes and mediumship. But the basics and the foundation in those workshops are all about tapping in to your higher self and the gifts that you hold. Now, when it comes to being able to tap in, you got to put down fears. We're so afraid of the dark. We're so afraid of something new. We're so afraid of what if we can't, or what if. And if you can put all that down and get into the space of allowing, oh, the expansiveness within you is absolutely glorious. Now, when it comes to our spiritual senses, it does take some adjusting to being able to hear with spiritual ears, seeing with spiritual vision, that sense of knowing from your intuition. It's all things that you can develop. The first place that I like to start with my students is the intuition muscle, being able to listen from your gut brain, being able to tap in and feel that. Now, what comes up with that is the overthinking part. You got to get used to not overthinking things. You got to get used to trusting what you feel, asking simple things, tapping into the feeling of it. And when the mind chatter starts with, what if I'm wrong? Where is this coming from? Learning not to question that and feed it. We feed our overthinking. Our brain kicks in for many reasons. Sometimes it's a bit of programming from the physical world, what's real and what's not real, past experiences, perhaps, how you were brought up. When we're able to just simply put that down and allow our intuition or our gut brain to take over, incredible awareness starts to open and expand. I always suggest to my students to start with real simple things that you can ask your intuition, things that it really doesn't matter if it's right or if it's wrong, things that you can kind of ease into the allowing space. My mediumship, it's all about allowing. Yes, I've been growing it for a very long time. I have an incredible amount of trust, but it didn't just bloom overnight. I worked at it. I leaned into trust. So ask yourself some very simple questions to build trusting your intuition. Simple things like when you're out for a drive, ask yourself, should I turn right or should I turn left? Instead of going my usual route, ask that question and feel what you get. Hear what you get or know what you get. If you ask the question, should I turn right or should I turn left? And you automatically have this knowing to turn left, even though you may always turn right, trust the feeling. When we overthink things, we shake that connection between our intuition and our physical awareness. We question it. And that's the biggest thing that you can kind of learn to surrender to. Nope, I'm not going to question it. I felt I needed to turn left, and I'm going to allow that to happen. And it may not shave any drive time off, but perhaps you're going to avoid, either an accident, or perhaps it's just a lesson in learning how to trust. The very simple aspect of trusting is the way in. Our higher self or our inner being or our intuition, whatever word resonates there to you, that's where the key is. That's where things start to unravel into how you will connect. And we can all connect with spirit. And we can all connect to the angelics. And we can all connect to our higher self. But the key is trusting. Now, when it comes to developing your spiritual senses, a couple little exercises for you to try. What else do I see? And I teach this to my mentoring students. Have a look up at the clouds. And remember when you were a little kid, or perhaps you still do it now, you look at the clouds and you see different formations, and it's like, oh, I see a bear in the clouds, or I see angel wings in the clouds. When you can train your physical vision to look for something else that you may not have seen before up in the clouds, have a look. What else do I see? I've been practicing that one. I still practice that one for many, many years to train myself to look a little deeper. The spirit dimensions run parallel to our physical world. And in order to be able to tap in and to see different things or to have different clarity, this also works for gaining clarity, to be able to look at something from a different perspective. And when we train our eyes to be able to do that, we gain this new sense of vision, both in the physical world and spiritually. What else do I see? I'll even do this, as funny as it may seem. I'll do it pretty much whenever I'm looking at something, whether it be a pattern on a wall or whether even a pattern in a pot of soup when I'm stirring it. I'll have a look. What else do I see? Retraining myself to think and see differently. Now, what else do I hear? When I'm out, and I have talked about this before, when I'm out in the forest, I'll listen to the birds. What else do I hear around me? And I'll stop and I'll really tune in my hearing. And there will be sounds that if I didn't stop and intentionally listen, I wouldn't have heard the squirrel playing in the leaves. I wouldn't have heard a specific bird or its sound. I listen with intention. And what happens is I'm training not just my physical world ears, but I'm also training my spiritual ears to listen into the spirit dimensions. If I'm not able to pause long enough in the physical world, I can't tap into the spirit dimensions. Another one, what else do I know? What else do I know? I will sit quietly on a topic and I will ask, what else do I know about that? And what happens with what else do I know? It opens up your awareness to channeling. It's a natural way into being able to channel. What else do I know on that topic? What else do I know about the situation? And when we go into what else do we know, it opens up some messages to be received from the angelics. The more you practice, the more you will know. Working in spirituality as a medium or as a healer in all modalities, it takes practice. And the more you practice, the more easily alignment comes in to with who you really are. Because in spirituality, there's very little to no lower vibrations unless you bring it in. There's no drama. There shouldn't be any judgment. There should just be love, light, support, kindness, trust. And the more you practice that, the easier it is to be able to stay in that. Now, even myself, I do have the occasional reaction to the physical world. Whether it be somebody may have said something to upset me or somebody may have done something to upset me. But with practice, I'm able to put it down, come back into my own alignment, come back into my spirituality, and look at things from my spiritual vision, be able to hear things with my spiritual ears, be able to sit in with my intuition, to be able to channel what else do I know. Trust and leaning in. And if you can practice some of these simple and easy techniques, your awareness will expand. Your spirituality will grow. And you got to give yourself some patience. Patience to grow your spiritual practices or your own spiritual connections is huge. We're on a learning journey, and it's a journey for a reason. So give yourself that time, give yourself that space, give yourself that grace to be able to lean in. Now, what comes up quite a bit in this topic is, what about the darkness? We've been conditioned to fear anything that is dark. And I think a lot of it does come from perhaps what we were taught, in our earlier years, how we were raised, TV and movies. We have this fear of what we can't see. And I have said this before. I'm very clear. I only work in the light. I only visualize with light. I only work with the angelics. I only work with things of light. I don't lean into any negative thoughts or any fear thoughts when it comes to my mediumship. I'm loved. I'm protected. I'm safe. I'm surrounded by the angelics. I stay in that vibration and that alignment. I do hope that some of these suggestions and tips gives you some practice ideas. Make it your own. Take bits and pieces of this if you want and make it your own, or try my examples. You're welcome to it. I am wishing you, as always, so much love, light, blessings, and a spirit-guided day.